Hello everybody and welcome to the halfway plan for League 6. This is where I do my breakdown on what has been revealed so far from Jagex with League 6, my honest thoughts and opinions, and I guess a loose direction of my plan so far based on what's been revealed for League 6, which is obviously subject to change based on the remaining tiers and the echo bosses and so on. But I want to give you guys a rundown and a recap on everything that's happened so far, and I want to express a lot of concerns I have for this league, which as one of the main content creators that seems to be more on Jagex's side when it comes to a lot of the controversy and a lot of the content they put out, I'm not feeling the most confident about League 6. So I do want to address those concerns, and please, if you have any good counter arguments or anything that you think I should look at differently, or any opinions you want to share, please leave them in the comment section down below. I read all the comments. I'd greatly appreciate the support. You can hit the like and subscribe button down below as well if you want to, because we're covering as much League 6 content as we can. We're live streaming everything we can. We're going to nosedive into it on the release day one straight away at kick.com/KingCondor. So don't be afraid to follow there as well. I'll throw 3 inches on the end of your cock. And if you've got a friend whose dick's so small that they're legally declared as a midget, don't be afraid to share this video with them too. Just so that way they know that they're heading in the right direction to fix their life and their life choices. But let's look at the League 6 plan so far. Here are the relics that they've released currently, which I will go through very briefly. I do want to go back to the top and just start with what League 6 is about. I'll keep it as brief as possible because there's been 6 of these now, and there's been a Grid Master. It's all the exact same concept. You're an Ironman, you have some very loose restrictions. Everything is turbocharged. You have increased drop rates, you have increased XP rates, and the more you progress through the league, the better those XP rates and those drop rates get. Now, typically, there's been one league, I think, where the entire world map was open to all players. Every other league since then, the world map has been restricted to a certain amount of areas. This year, we're starting with Valamor, which is the second time we've started in a region that wasn't Miss Stalin, I'm pretty sure. Maybe there was that League 3 started in Catherby, I think. Maybe I could be wrong with that. But we know for a fact that the first league, Twisted League, was Korend. Now we're starting in Valamor. And this is a slight change. Valamor is like a second starter area anyway, so it's not the end of the world, but Miss Fallon's going to be completely unavailable for everyone today, and they're changing the way that the point cap system works in this league for those that are interested in chasing Dragon Tier. Every region will get the same amount of points, so you're no longer stuck with the idea that I want to go with this region, but it doesn't give enough points to reach the tier I want to reach. Not anymore. It's going to be perfectly balanced. At least they're trying to make it perfectly balanced across all region choices, so there's no wrong choice when going for max points. They also say that if you want to maximize your points, there is a list here of requirements that need to be met. You will need to at least one raid region, so you will need to pick at least Desert, Mauritania, or Zaya, or Korend if you will, to get at least all 3 mega rares. You just need at least one. You don't have to do all 3, it's up to you. You'll need to be able to fill 750 clog slots, complete 10 different boss combat achievements, 30 CA tasks, 30 CA speed tasks, 250 tasks from the combat achievements in total, reach the elite tier CAs, which I think you'll be able to do quite easily with the 250 CA tasks, and at least 50 mil in each skill. That will get you the Dragon Cup and point cap that you are looking for. If that's your goal for leagues, very simple checklist to tick off with. If it's your first time doing leagues, that's what you need to know as well, and honestly you'll be able to fly through that very easily. There's a few new tasks as well, which is getting 100 mil and 200 mil in skills that are non-combat related and then combat related. Super simple. But now we look at the area information, and this is where the first hurdle for new leagues players comes in, and this is where I kind of am still on the edge about what I want to pick at the moment, because we all start with Valamor and we get Karamja for free eventually as our first unlock. I'm pretty sure we get that right here. So it looks like 8 tasks completed. As soon as you finish 8 tasks, you're going to unlock Karamja. Now, the way this works in the league is you unlock new areas based on the amount of tasks completed, and you unlock new relics based on the amount of points you get from completing tasks. And the harder the task is to complete, the more points that task gives you. So it's worth trying to keep in mind how you want to balance that structure out and how you want to go about picking your first region. Because while all regions give the same amount of points, it's worth noting places like Tiranwin with the Alpha area is a lot harder to get the ball rolling if that's your first area to unlock, due to it being a more high level and high skill required area. So you're better off picking that area second or maybe even third. Now we'll go out straight away. My opinion, the weakest region, I think everyone can agree with, is Kandarin, considering that there's almost zero boss potential there. It's a big open space with a lot of running around, And the Echo weapon, once again this year, is very disappointing, which we will cover very soon. In my opinion, my personal and very educated, strong opinion, Desert has always been a very, very strong second pick for the worst region in the game. It is very similar to Kandarin, where it is a lot of open space with nothing to offer. You were forced to do Mage Training Arena, which is better to do now than it was back in the day. And you do get boosted minigame rates, but it's still a load of shit. And it only really offers TOA, which Mega Rares are available from all 3 raids. And while I think you might think TOA is the best raid, and if it's your favorite raid, that's great. Go fucking nuts. But it's worth noting that a lot of people that do TOA in this game don't have a lot of Chambers of Xeric or Theatre of Blood experience, and I highly recommend you use this opportunity to learn and get your feet wet with either Theatre of Blood and /or Chambers of Xeric and leave TOA in the dust. If you can do that raid, leave it behind, save it for the main game. Try the other 2 raids out, make some friends, and get your other friends on board with these raids. Take that knowledge to the main game, and you'll find that you're going to appreciate the rest of the game a whole lot more when you come back to the main game from League. So I will not be picking Kandarin, and I definitely will not be picking Desert, especially since they've revealed the Echo boss and weapon from that region too, which I'll explain later on in the video. I'm thinking Mauritania is the play, which is unfortunate because the Grotesque Guardians are the Echo boss for that region, which I'm not a big fan of, but I'm relieved to know that they're not doing the fucking Barra's Gloves buff this year. So I'm thinking Mauritania. I think I've got to go Korend. Korend is just such a good and strong region, but you do have to do Chambers of Xeric. Luckily, I love doing Chambers of Xeric, so I'm not opposed to that. I think Korend is a strong maybe. The Wilderness I was going to pick, but given the Echo boss and weapon, I have decided against it. I might have to go Mauritania, Asgardia, and then I might flip a coin between Fremennik, Korend, and Tiranwin. I've never done Tiranwin for a league before. In fact, I might challenge myself and go Tiranwin first, even though I know that's a bad idea, just to really push my ability to, I guess, learn and level my account and progress through a league a lot faster, or at least a lot more methodically through a high level area. So maybe I'll go Tiranwin first, then Mauritania, then I'll flip a coin between Asgardia, Korend, and Fremennik, depending on the Echo Boss weapons and results. We know what Echo Boss is happening for most regions. We know what the items are going to look like, but we don't know exactly the details about them. So until we know more on those Echo items, I won't be able to lock in anything specific. But those are my region choices for now. Just assume Valamor, then Kramja, probably Tiranwin to Mauritania, and then flip a coin between Asgardia, Fremennik, and Korend at the moment. We'll see how that goes. That's my rough plan for areas. It's subject to change based on Echo bosses. Now, Relics is the big one. This is where Jagex is making daily reveals, and this is where I find this is where the most controversy and I guess the most discussion amongst all Leagues players are. This is the best part of Leagues, your Relics. And they've made some massive changes this year, which I think is awesome. I love that they are separating the teleport capabilities a lot throughout this tier, or these tiers. I love that they have moved Reloaded to tier 7, and I love that they are getting rid of Equilibrium and putting it into a different relic now, which is good. So we'll start with tier 1 and what choice I would take. At the moment, looking at this board, Endless Harvest is just one relic. Here's the information here. I will never be picking. Endless Harvest is for those that want to AFK Leagues. This is a second Leagues account relic. You're playing Leagues in a second account, Endless Harvest and AFK to the moon. Not for me, personally, not my thing. I've got Barbarian Gathering, which gives me the ability to chop, woodcut, and mine with using my hands. I don't need a tool. You get extra XP, and you get 3 different kinds of gathered items that can go into this knapsack. If you fail, you get a 50% chance to go again, and your hands are the equivalent versions of crystal tools. So you get 10% extra strength and agility XP when doing these actions. So you will be able to gain agility and strength XP along the way, which is good for early combat and is excellent for doing agility, which kind of leaves Hotfoot out of the tier 2 selection if you go Barbarian Gathering. However, so far on this list, there's not really anything that gives you a lot of money other than Abundance, which is a big relic. You get coins which are generated and put in your inventory or your bank. You get plus 10 in all skills that are not combat related as a boost. Every time you receive XP, you get 2 additional XP in the same skill, which is basically your equilibrium. And then for every XP gained, you get 2 times as many coins. Now you're already going to be getting an XP modifier of like, say you get 10x XP and you pickpocket a man. So you get 80 XP just for pickpocketing a man, and then additional 2 XP of the same skill, and it's effective at a league's passive multiplier, so that becomes 20 XP, 100 XP to pickpocket a man, 200 GP just to pickpocket a man. And we know that that's a basic, very basic task, very basic skill that you do very early in the game. And that's already 200 gold, and you can AFK generating this money anytime you earn XP. If you go abundance into Hotfoot, for example, and you're running around getting XP while you're training agility just for having the boots on, you're generating money just by running around. It's a really sweet combo, and because you didn't go Barbarian Gathering, Hotfoot would be a great tier 2. However, this is where the issue comes in with Woodsman. You won't be able to gain the benefits of woodcutting and the benefits of getting extra hunter loot and extra hunter success rate. Luckily, Woodsman's a fucking dog shit ass relic, and I won't be picking that garbage. The real question is do I want Friendly Forager or do I want Hotfoot? Hotfoot, very strong. Agility XP while running around. Automatically caught fish, so fish are automatically cooked. All that is mined is already smelted, and you get 10k coins for each mark of the grace you find, and it will automatically guarantee completing the lap, along with termites as well. They have a 33% chance to spawn more often, and you get 25% chance bonus XP, 25% bonus XP for completing the lap. So you pick up a mark of grace, you get an auto completion and 25% bonus XP, 100% success rate on agility and cooking, and you get 10x crystal shards in Prif, which if I go to Tramwin, I can take advantage of that because I'll get the extra shards. So Hotfoot is massive and goes well. It's just, does it go good with, I mean, there's no point going Hotfoot and Barbarian Gathering. You're already going to get the agility XP, right? So it kind of leaves that with abundance, and then you get mad XP, but then you're left without Friendly Forager. Friendly Forager is insane for herbs. I'd done this last league, and I think it was even in, I can't remember if it was in Gridmaster, but Leagues 5, this was in the game, and it's just, you get so many herbs. You never have a herb problem. Never have a potion problem. Endgame PVM is perfect. However, I don't really know how important this is, and we won't know till later in the tiers. If there's any sort of potion saving relic or buff like there was in Gridmaster, Friendly Forager will become immediately irrelevant, and Hotfoot will be the choice, which means Abundance is the tier 1 choice. I think if you go Abundance, Hotfoot is the play. If you go Barbarian Gathering, then Friendly Forager is more likely to be your play. I think if you pick Woodsman, you just have fucking brain damage. Unless you want to sit there catching chin chompers in leagues for no reason. Some people go, well, you go chins, so that way you can train range with chins. You don't need to. You've got fucking 64x XP. You don't need to be doing chin chompers to train range. Trust me, Hunter is dog shit easy. You're in Valimor, you have Hunter rumors. Fuck Woodsman with a stick. Endless Harvest is bad in my opinion. Woodsman is bad in my opinion. I think Abundance is the stronger starter relic. I think I'm going to go Abundance to Hotfoot in my opinion. Which leaves us with tier 3, which I would have thought is the teleport tier this year. But now I'm not sure. But you do get the choice of Evil Eye at the moment, which gives you teleports to all bosses, including the Moons of Peril, each individual Moons of Peril, and the Barrow's chest or Barrow's surface. So you kill the brothers, teleport to the chest, teleport to the surface, and go again. This removes the idea and the need of them introducing instant recall this year into the league, which sounds pretty good, unless it comes as an item rather than a relic. It ignores teleport restrictions in the wilderness, and typically you'd expect 2 more teleports in tier 3. However, there's a teleport in tier 5 this year, which means they may be splitting up the opportunity to have different teleports, which I'm a massive fan of. So Evil Eye for now is the only choice, along with Conniving Clues, which I think is a bit of a weak relic. However, again, we don't know what the other 2 relics are in that tier, but what we do know is that this is basically the same clue scroll relic from last league, where you get guaranteed max rolls, much easier clues, 10 times more likely to get another clue, minimum steps on each clue. You don't have to do any item steps for Fella the Bard or Charlie or emote clues and whatever. You can just do the clue with the emote. And on top of that, they will give you I think it's a 1 in 10 chance to get a teleport with these clue scrolls. I think that's what it was. For some reason, it's not written on here anymore. I don't know why, but it was in the trailer. Basically, you get a teleport that will take you straight to your clue step, which last year used to be just a relic that would do that for you. So they've removed that, and instead you get them from doing the clue scrolls, which is pretty fucking handy. So until then, I'm not really interested in picking my tier 4 because I'm probably going to pick something else. But tier 5, you have Nature's Accord, which is just your broken farming relic. You get unlimited teleports with the fairy mushroom to farming patches, leprechauns, and fairy rings, which is massive. You get 10x yield on everything. Everything grows immediately. There's no level requirements on what you farm. You literally go to the farming guild. If you have Kourend with Nature's Accord, you go to the farming guild, you get 99 farming in a second. You go Thai farming, you get 99 farming like that. It is super easy. It's a free relic, and it just gives you an unlimited amount of herbs. You don't barely use any of your seeds. It's pretty much the choice. If you don't go Friendly Forager, you have Nature's Accord, which is what I like about choosing Hotfoot even more. Because then you got the Larcenist. I think that's how you pronounce it, Larcenist, which is your thieving relic. Normally this is a tier 2 relic. Now it's at tier 5. You have a 100% success rate on all pickpocketing. All loot from thieving is 10x, not including clue scrolls. The stalls never deplete. You never get caught by guards. You never fail a pickpocket. You can literally AFK. You have 10x coin pouches. If you do your arty diaries, if you've got Kandarin, which no one will be fucking picking, then you can go to like 2,800 fucking coin pouches. The Larcenist is a free AFK. That's your moneymaker if you don't go Abundance. Essentially, Barbarian Gathering into Friendly Forager into Larcenist is probably your tier 1, 2, and 5 play. I'm going to go Abundance to Hotfoot to Nature's Accord at this current point in time. I think that's going to be the alternate method to getting your max cash stack to then max out your construction. Now we move on to tier 6. Tier 6, in my opinion, is the weakest tier of the list so far, because Culling Spree is just your standard Slayer. Pick a Slayer task, you get like 3 choices, I think. Yeah, 3 choices. Pick how many of that task, go nuts. Guaranteed 1 to 3 elite clue scrolls on Superior Slayers. Superior Slayers have a 50% chance to spawn another Superior. You don't need to use a helmet, a Slayer helmet. You get unlimited rune pouch, herb sack looting bag. It's honestly not the worst, but Slayer tasks aren't super difficult, especially now that you have teleports and you get over insane combat. It honestly feels a lot stronger than Grimoire. A lot of people go with this spellbook, or sorry, this relic. Sorry, it gives you the ability to switch spellbooks between all spellbooks. It gives you the Book of the Dead ability. It doesn't matter about quests and level requirements. You have access to all prayers, all spells, which is nice for piety, but you don't really need piety in this league. I've found I've never had to use piety. It's never been a fucking problem. I'm just really happy that they haven't put Ruinous Powers in this year. Not because I think Ruinous Powers are bad, it just sounds really lazy, but this is a repeated relic that people use, people love. I personally am not the biggest fan. I don't find it that useful. If you're going to choose Book of the Dead and Thralls, then you've got the Minion Relic at the end anyway. Spellbooks don't really have that big of an effect in the league because of charged mage weapons. I'm probably not going to pick the Grimoire, to be honest, but it depends what this relic here is. Culling Spree honestly feels like a better choice for me, in my opinion, for the way that I play. Now we've got tier 7. This may be the strongest and sleeper tier for the league. Now, Reloaded is usually like a tier 3, tier 4 relic, where you get to pick one of the previous tier relics. But now it's a tier 7 relic, meaning whatever the fuck this other relic is needs to be big, because this allows you to pick any other relic choice prior. A lot of people think, well, why would I do that? Like, that means you've made a mistake. No, this is for good relic combos. If you want Hotfoot and Friendly Forager, you've got it. If you want Larcenist and Nature's Accord, you've got it. If you want Grimoire and the Culling Spree or any of these other mystery relics, you can grab them all. Reloaded lets you pick another tier relic from tier 1 to 6, which is huge. Whatever this relic is, it needs to be big to come up against Reloaded. It's a huge relic. And then you've got tier 8. Now tier 8, what this does is kind of tells us that Yama is going to be a problem in this league. Somewhere you're going to have to fight Yama, whether it's Echo Yama or Yama is involved with the Echo bosses or whatnot. None of these tier 8 relics work on Yama, which is just worth keeping in the back of your mind. Now you've got currently a blank relic, Minion, and a Flask of Fervor. Now Minion is an upgraded version of the usual summoning Minion relic, which gives you a Thrall, which is on fucking roids, does a huge amount of damage, and this one can get stronger by giving it equipable Zamorak items. So you can get an increased max hit of 2 per unique item up to 5 unique items, which gives it a total max hit of, 20? Minimum hit of 3. It's got a 3-tick attack speed. It chooses the attack style that it is strongest against on the opponent, but doesn't work on Yama. Or you got the Flask of Fervor, which is basically Last Stand relic from last year, but you need to activate it yourself personally. which to me is a very weak relic. It does work inside the gauntlet. I think the minion does as well. I hope it says on here somewhere. Deals damage to anything immune to throws. It doesn't say anything about being in the gauntlet. Flask of Fervor works inside the gauntlet, however. It has a 3-minute cooldown. Every 10 damage you deal in a single hit reduces the cooldown by 0.6 seconds. It gives you full HP and mana and special attack. Over the next 2.4 seconds, 3 explosions trigger for 60% of your base prayer level. To all enemies in the 3x3 radius, you take 0 damage. You only get 2.4 seconds of immunity. It's weaker than Last Stand in my opinion. And you have to activate it manually. If you don't, you just die. So I won't be picking Flask of Fervor. That's a guarantee. I'll be picking Minion or what the other choice is, 110%. It's probably going to be something specialist related to give you consistent special attack. Honestly, tier 7 could be specialist, which will be a strong competitor to Reloaded, which gives you the ability to, usually it's like 10, all special attacks are 10%, and they regenerate by 15% every time you kill something. And there was something, maybe it's like Lightbearer effect as well. Like super dirty fucking relics, super strong, and just makes leagues, the desert choice for leagues even more irrelevant because the Lightbearer becomes a useless choice for you. So specialist maybe tier 7 or tier 8, not sure yet, but I'll be picking so far Abundance, Hotfoot, maybe Evil Eye, something else other than Conniving Clues, probably Nature's Accord, Culling Spree or the other one, probably Reloaded, and then Minion or whatever the other one is. Not Flask of Fervor, not Grimoire, not Larcenist, not Conniving Clues, definitely not fucking Woodsman, and not Endless Harvest. That's for damn sure. Those are the relics so far and my breakdown of the relics. These are your passives that we should already know about, up to an XP multiplier of 16x. Disappointing that there's no multiplier on tier 6 and tier 8. They definitely could go 16x here, 30x, and then 64x, because why have a restriction on the league? But now let's talk about my issues with League 6. This is where my problems come in personally. The Echo Bosses. This is where I am most disappointed so far. Starting with the tier 1 relics, they didn't do a boss reveal for this one. Where was their first boss reveal? Was it Minion? Maybe? I'm just trying to find where their first boss reveal... Oh, here we go. The first boss reveal was the 27th, the Amoxicillin Echo Boss. Now, all we get shown is this, and it says, we're not done yet with the reveals. Arm yourself with the combined stats of 3 weapons fused into a single devastating arsenal. So we can assume this is the donkers from the Frost, Sulfur, and the... whatever the other one N-words are. The Moxladel. The dual-handed weapons into one. The Moxladel is a very easy boss. Echo Moxladel, brand new Echo Boss. A welcome boss. We lose the Soul Coliseum Echo Boss because of this. But given Valimor as a starter area, I'm okay with this change. That's totally fine. New dual weapons. Beautiful. Guys wearing full Inquisitors. Panic by Inquisitors now, please. I need that shit to go up. Next Echo Boss is Thermonuclear Smoke Devil Echo Boss. Already disappointed, because Kandarin was already the weakest dogshit region no one was picking. This confirms it. Thermi is a repeated Echo Boss. We cannot guarantee these are going to be new mechanics. If they're the same mechanics as last year, it's a disappointment. And the Devil's Element is making a return. Jagex is once again pushing elemental spells, elemental weaknesses, in a game where it doesn't matter about elemental weaknesses at the end game. And you get a Trident now as well. A 4-pronged main hand and an offhand you may recognize. So I don't know what the 4-pronged main hand is, sorry. Might be a magical Trident. It might be a melee Trident for once. Who knows? I'm not interested in taking this boss. They have the Kraken available for that region. And I think that's it in terms of countering bosses. They could have switched it up and done the Kraken this year. Absolutely. But it's now the Thermi. Enjoy that shit. Next, we have Echo Hespori making a return. Another return boss. I hope it isn't the same fight as last year, because while it was a fun fight, the biggest problem with leagues is repeatability. If they're using the same gear every year, the same mechanics every year, forcing you to go ranged again every year, it loses its spark. It makes it less fun. It's the same Echo boss. Please don't be the same Echo fight. But we have Skatizo, Seracnus. There is, whether you think there could be an Echo raid, that would be really fun. Not likely. We have, can't do Yama as well this year. I feel like there's another boss in the Corenda region I'm thinking of. Even Wintertodd. you could do echo bosses of these variants, but they've chose to repeat Hespori, except this time we get some sort of short bow. To compete with the T-bow, it's got to be pretty fucking good from this boss. If the T-bow is better, then it's GG. So hopefully that the new short bow from Hespori is good, but it's disappointing to see the same boss coming back again. I think a lot of people are making the argument that, well, I didn't do this region last league, so it's nice that they've got the same boss fight for this new league. And no, it's not, in my opinion. They should be able to make new fucking bosses easily, but you know, at least we got Deadman mode this year. Next we have the Echo Dagannoth Kings making a return again, unfortunately. Great fight, great Echo fight, but I've already done it and I know how to do it. So I'm hoping that this year it's mechanically different, and if it's not, then I've gone with Fremennik, where they could have gone with Duke for an Echo boss. Phantom Muspar would have been a great Echo boss. That boss fight is already really good. They could have made a great Echo fight there. Vorkarth could have been an Echo boss. Vardavis, by the way, on Koren, could have done Vardavis. So there are choices available, but they've chosen to repeat a boss again. And this time we get some sort of helmet, which I would assume it consists as the Best in Slot helmet, including Slayer helmet, which makes the Slayer relic irrelevant a little bit, because you will already have the Slayer bonus. Just depends if you want to be able to choose a Slayer task or not. Once again, disappointed to see a repeated boss. Hopefully there is some sort of mechanical change to it, especially with introducing Yama to Echo bosses, which is a speculation. But if it's the same boss fight, excuse me, I will be quite disappointed. Next we have the Echo King Black Dragon. There are that many fucking wilderness bosses. Artio, Callisto, Spindel, Venenatus, Calvarion, and Bedion. You've got the Chaos Elemental, the Archaeologist, and the mad scientist guy, Faust Fanatic. Chaos Fanatic? Faust Kinetic. You've got Scorpio even. And they went with King Black Dragon. Again, same as last year. Same Echo boss. It better not be the same fucking fight. But they're the same Echo bosses once again. On top of that, you get a crossbow with Ice Barrage-like effects. Double hit, Ice Barrage-like effects from a crossbow. I'm not interested in that one bit, because Ice Barrage already has zero fucking use in the main game outside of a few small niche mechanics like Theatre of Blood and PvP. Which, I mean, if I go Wilderness, I will be PvPing, but that Echo weapon does not excite me one bit. A lot of people want the Kopesh to return. I think that's a bad idea. I like that we're getting new weapons, don't get me wrong. But this crossbow does not excite me a single bit. So that's why I've decided to go and not pick the Wilderness. I wanted the Wilderness, but this makes me go, no, I will not be choosing the Wilderness this year. The Echo boss and the weapon is just not it. Next we have Echo Cerberus making a return again. Another return boss that we've already done. Mastered it last year, and if it's the same fight, I will be fucking disappointed. However, it does come with a new weapon, which is a 3-tick dagger that scales with elemental weakness and a special attack that hits instantly. So we're probably looking at some sort of granite maul speed attack. Elemental weakness, which is good for anything that's got an elemental weakness, which could stack with the thermonuclear smoke devil offhand, because it amplifies elemental damage. It doesn't have to just be spells, I'm pretty sure, so it will stack with that. However, if you pick Kandarin, you're fucking ruining the league for yourself, so that ain't gonna fucking happen. Looks like it's gonna be one-handed, of course, so Defender works with it, and you get Defender in the Asgarnia region. But we had General Garage Door, Commander Ziliana, Kriara, Krill, Nex. I feel like there's another boss that I'm missing in this region that could have absolutely been the Echo boss, but we got Cerberus, which is fine, but it is a repeated boss, which once again disappoints me. But a new weapon, I'm all for. Lastness, now we have the Cowfight Queen. Yeah, Cowfight Queen, this is the worst choice. This is why Desert continues to suck. The Cowfight Queen boss is back, and you're getting the Drygor Blowpipe again. So it's basically the same 1-tick, 2-tick Blowpipe. Yeah. Just another reason to not pick fucking Desert, to do Cowfight Queen, and then go to TOA. You don't need it, no. Combat Masters will probably further solidify this, but I think this is just a terrible choice. And a lot of people go, well, you need it for the range, but you don't. It's leagues, you don't need anything for this fucking league. Every region will build any attack style build you want. This is a bad idea, I'm telling you now. It's not going to ruin leagues for you. There are infinitely better and more fun builds than this shit. Fuck that. Then we've got the Grimoire, which Bodie and his missus did a little Harry Potter meme to reveal, which was nice. But they haven't shown here what the Echo Boss is for some reason. Let me refresh real quick. No, they haven't put it there. Basically, it is. Let me show you. I got it on the Twitter. We have the Echo Hunleth returning with the crystal, whatever that is, the quiver thing. It goes in your quiver slot or it goes in your back slot, one of the two, and it basically gives you the crystal buff for melee weapons or for anything you're doing, I believe, as long as you're wearing crystal armor. I can't remember now exactly what it was, but it says it comes with, it's something familiar, but what new power might this item hold? Maybe it will now work with all weapons as well, as long as you're wearing crystal gear. But this is the new repeated Echo Boss from last year, which I know was an excellent fight, people were telling me. And I do want to see what new buffs comes with this item. But the fact that there is a repeated item, which was the drug or blowpipe, I think that's the only repeated item so far, but all the bosses are repeated other than a Moxladle, is once again mildly disappointing. So I'm expecting to see... what haven't we seen yet? Kandarin, Feminic, Wilderness. As Karamja, what was the Echo Karamja? Was there even one? Maybe we'll get an Echo Karamja this year. Mauritania is the Grotesque Guardians. Hold on, where was that? Why wasn't that on here? Last Nest? Yeah, they didn't put this one on. Here you go. Grotesque Guardians. 4-tick staff, which I have IQ get in the starting region. But this is meant to be a 4-tick staff for slaying the Echo Bosses, charged with Earth and Body Runes, build power with every blow, and shatter enemies. So I'd imagine this will take inspiration from the Combat Masteries last year, where the more attacks you do with Mage, the stronger the attack gets. So could be pretty strong, but it's a repeated Echo Boss once again, which gives us, we've got Echo Boss for here, 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 there, here, 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 here. And okay, so that's all the Echo Bosses revealed, unless they do one for Karamja. And then obviously Yama. So that'll be very interesting because we still have a bunch of reveals here, which we'll be going through on our live streams and trying to upload with on the way. But because of those choices, that is why I am flipping a coin between Asgarnia, Fremnik, and Karen so far, because all three Echo Bosses are repeated that I've already done. Those are the three I chose last year, and I just do not know. It really depends on which weapon is the strongest and which fits my need and my wants at the moment. But to be honest, my biggest disappointment is Mauritania, because it's not that I don't like the Grotesque Guardians, it's that we had the Nightmare in Mauritania. We could have done an Echo Nightmare. The real question now is, while they're the same bosses, are they the same mechanics? If they're the same fights as last league, I think Jagex has dropped the ball really hard there, because while a lot of players haven't done these bosses, so this is new to you, and I get that, I love that for you. But it also means it cuts off of a portion of the player base that has already done this content or has already seen this content, and it feels lazy. That's the main thing. It's not that it's bad content that I don't want to do. It's that it feels lazy and that there's been so much time and hype for this league just for them to say, oh, by the way, this is the exact same as last year. It feels like you could have done a better job. And I think that's the main disappointing part about it, and that's my main concern with this league, is that these Echo Bosses are being repeated. The items are new, that's great. Most of the items are new, and that's great. Thankfully, the two regions that are having repeated items are the ones I'm not picking. The Tyran Win one is being upgraded, and I'm likely going to pick that one first for a bit of a challenge. That is subject to change. Definitely picking Abundance and Hotfoot, I think, and going with Nature's Accord to get rid of Friendly Forager. And because I have Hotfoot, there's no point picking Barbarian Gathering, in my opinion. But Culling Spree, if I go Feminic, I might not pick Culling Spree. It depends on the other relics, but we'll discuss those in the future going forward as we discover more about this league and we learn more about the combat masteries that are coming, the Echo weapons and what they actually give, and of course what the hell's going on with Yama this league. But until then, guys, that is my League 6 breakdown and my opinions. Let me know your thoughts and your paths down below. I'd love to see how you're going to tackle this league this year. My name is King Condor. Have a good night. This is the easiest move in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy.